What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Gen TV podcast. As always, your boy Ease.
Hey, what the sauce guy?
Before we start, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all sub, drop a comment, all that. But let's get into it, man. Let's go with you.
Cool, man. How you been?
Been better than Diddy. Been better than that guy.
I think most of us have been better than Diddy.
You know what's crazy? It's like, even with as much shit as he's got going on, am I really doing better than him?
You're
like,
not.
Yo, even like, I think a billionaire's worst day is still better than the average person's best day.
Yeah. Like, you could have a fucking phenomenal day and
it still doesn't
amount to it. Yeah, I mean, this is why he's like, the darkest of times. What dark times do you have? Like,
no, this is a dark time for him.
No, he's talking about he was saying that Cassie was with him during his darkest of times or something like that, or those are some dark times. And it's like, what the fuck, you're a billionaire? Like,
you know what's funny though? It must suck from their point of view that like just because they're rich, people just don't think anything like phases them.
almost like a robot, essentially.
So as long as you're rich, like all right, nothing matters anymore. All my feelings are irrelevant.
Yeah,
like,
you don't have emotions. You don't have feelings.
I have nothing to stand on. Like when I complain, like life should be great at all times.
I mean, I guess that's why they say that. I guess that's why they say money doesn't fix your problems, because like at the end of the day, you can have money, but you're still gonna have issues no matter what.
Yes and no. I mean, money's definitely fixing his problems currently.
You think so?
I mean, he probably might have been in prison right now if he didn't have the money that he had.
Is it fixed or is it delaying?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into our Facebook post. We asked you guys, what are your thoughts? Obviously, the video was just dropped by CNN that showed Diddy physically assaulting Cassie.
Yeah.
We asked you guys what your thoughts on it on Facebook, so let's get into it. George Lure said he's done for. Is Diddy really done for?
Yeah, I would say that he's done for. I think that I've been watching like a lot of people talk about this, and one of the things that they said is that this is kind of like they knew it was outside of like the statute of limitations for him to be convicted for this crime, but they wanted to alter the public narrative. So, however, I do believe one thing that Myron from Fresh and Fit, because he used to be a Fed, and one thing, he used to work for the FBI. So one thing he said,
makes sense that he used to be a Fed. He's such a dick.
Yeah. So he used to be a part of the FBI, and one thing he said, he predicts that he's going to be convicted by the end of 2024 or the beginning of 2025. And he says that pretty much they're building a case towards him right now, but they wanted to change like the public perception. So.
Yeah, I mean, public perception definitely plays a big part in today's world, especially when you're in entertainment.
I mean, look at what Kanye, Kanye self-sabotaged himself and ended up losing a bunch of deals and contracts because of the whole Jewish thing that he was doing, So I think what this would cause is him to like lose like being an ambassador for like these different brands that he has, and him being a spokesperson for Black people. It kind of loses that I guess the public relations kind of thing that he's been.
I mean, when you're in entertainment, public relations is like all you really have, other than your money. Like that's your biggest selling factor, right? Whether people like you or not.
Absolutely.
And once you lose that, the money goes then after that.
Yeah. So I think he's gonna have to stick with his normal businesses, but and this is if he doesn't go to jail, but I think he will be. He'll go to jail for something.
All right. Bert Rodriguez said, "Not surprised, but it's effed up though. Now everything she said and Kim said is looking more credible. I wonder who was holding the video for so long. The hotel, he paid them off, and now that shit is getting more crazier than was like, damn, we gotta release this, or they sold the video to TMZ, etc." So I don't know how true it is. So what I had heard is that Diddy paid off the hotel $50,000 for the footage, and he's been holding on to it since it happened.
Right.
And now when the feds raided his house, they got proof. They got the video, and then they're thinking that someone in the feds just like leaked it to CNN. To get out.
Which is one of the things that that makes sense, because it's like, if you are, one thing is why it doesn't make sense to me. Why would he get the video and then keep it? Right? Like I would destroy the fuck out of it.
That's like that didn't make sense to me too. But sometimes like these people that are really sick and twisted, they gotta get this gratification of like rewatching this kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like because that's the only thing I could rationalize for him keeping the video. Or if anybody that like, if you buy the proof of you doing something illegal or negative, Why keep it?
But then also, people have been speculating that this is that the feds might end up, I guess, going after the hotel. So the hotel had made a statement saying that they're no longer owned by, I forgot the acronym, the actual letters that the hotel was named under, or the owners, the hotel was owned by. But they're saying, pretty much came out with a statement saying that they're no longer owned by this specific company. However, I think they said that the feds might look into it to see, like, if, because essentially they cooperated, essentially, like, they assisted Diddy by selling him the tapes. By selling him the tape.
Yo, and first of all, I'm surprised only $50,000. Like, if I was the hotel, I would have charged the guy fucking $1 million. I'll be real with you. Like, if I was, here's the thing, right? We tend to blame people that are in these situations that, once again, we've never been in, all right? And then we blame them, saying like, yo, you did the wrong thing, when you don't know what you would have done if you were in the same situation. Bro, if I'm a hotel employee and I have this footage and I'm a regular person and this millionaire, or actual billionaire, right, is telling me like, yo, I'm gonna pay you $50,000 for it, just give me it and shut up, right? What do you think the average person is gonna do? They're gonna fucking take the money.
But that's the thing. Apparently it wasn't an employee that sold it to Diddy. It was the hotel themselves that sold it to Diddy.
But I'm assuming there's someone in charge in that hotel that had it.
But I mean, if you're really not gonna be gaining off of it, why does it matter, like, the amount that you make? Like, it's like, okay, if I'm directly selling it to him and I have an opportunity for a come up personally, then I could see why you would.
No, I see what you're saying. I don't think it was the organization. I don't think it was a hotel organization. I think it was like the manager or like the CEO, whoever was running that hotel, that took the money. Obviously, but once you're the CEO, or even though you're a single person, you represent the company, right?
No, it was the hotel themselves. Like,
really,
like, yeah, it was the hotel as an organization. From what is,
but that's kind of weird, because, like, $50,000 to a hotel organization is probably nothing.
But apparently, what the point that somebody was making also is, like, Diddy has been staying. I think it's at the Intercontinental that this situation happened, right?
Okay.
Intercontinental or whatever, however the fuck you
say.
Bad
Bad promo for them,
right? And he's been staying at them for a while, and over the years, he's accumulated like hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages, right? And that's one of the things that is alarming about this situation, because typically, if you damage a hotel, you tend to get banned from the hotel, and you can't come back.
Regular people. You always got to remember, right? Like, celebrities and like just billionaires, they don't live by the same rules that we live by.
Absolutely.
Obviously, if one of us goes into a hotel, fucks it up, like, we're getting kicked out, arrested, we got to pay all the damages. Like, they get welcomed back.
Exactly.
Like,
so I think for this situation, I feel it as though there has been a relationship built to where, okay, like, if I can trust you in a sense for whatever the fuck I got going on. So in other spaces, there has been like other illegal activities going on in like other hotels with other people, right? And the hotel and the person has a relationship to where they can, there's an understanding by the hotel, there's a trust by the person, so they just continue to work together, so that way it's kind of mutually benefit. I get to host my fucked up activities here, and while you make money off of it as well. So I think in this situation, it's like, yeah, I can charge him millions of dollars, but if he's gonna keep coming back, think about how many times he's probably
gonna make that double in the long run.
Exactly. It's like, okay, like, take this tape, just give me $50,000, and then we'll keep it going on.
The establishment where Diddy throws his Diddy parties is kind of crazy. That's like, that's where you want to bake your money off. That is kind of crazy. Yo, but at the end of the day, bro, I don't agree with this shit, right?
Yeah.
That's just how America operates. It's just like, that's just capitalism to the fucking T, right?
Right.
You know what? You're doing this weird shit, but as long as you're paying us, we don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Right? But
you're paying us, you're fixing your damages.
If you want to have an issue with that, right, we have to change it all. Like, it's just not with this hotel. It's like the whole system.
Right.
I mean, people have been complaining a lot for like a long time. It's like,
but that's all we do. We complain and do nothing about it,
All right. Louis Prada the second. That's quite fancy.
I like that.
Louis. Oh, I just put it together.
Okay.
Louis Prada.
Okay.
He just called him, hey, he's a weak ass nigga. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I think anyone.
That's general consensus.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to debate on that. Renee Simone said, to everyone who said this woman was lying, how does it feel to now see that woman you called a liar being abused in such a way? Like, if he did this, he did everything else. I don't care.
So here's my thoughts on that statement, right? She's speaking directly to me. because I thought she was lying as I thought Cassie was lying also.
Mm.
Right. So I do own. Actually, when I first dropped, I didn't think it was real. Like I thought
Like
it was
the video?
like the video. I thought it was like just someone else because like how sometimes like there would be like new leak of like some such and such did X, Y, and Z, and it's probably like a person that could look like them, but it's not actually.
There is a
them,
lot of that,
and
it's weird to me, like, because as far as we come in technology, it's weird to me that these videos are always fucking fuzzy.
They're fuzzy as fuck, bro. Like
so obviously this one is like pretty identifiable. You could tell it's Diddy, Diddy at the least, right?
Right.
But it's always weird to me. It's like, how is this shit not in like 4K?
But even this video, you feel me? It's like
it's
still not.
like,
it's
but
still,
this one is. You could make them out.
You could make them out. Right, right. So like when I first watched it, I'm like, damn, like this isn't him. And then I see everything that's going on. I was like, oh, this is him, right? And I think it was the second pan where like they actually go to like the elevator room, the elevator area. I was like, okay, this is actually him. So I definitely did feel bad for like not believing Cassie, but I feel like to say that just because he did this, he did everything else as well. That is a statement that is like extremely dangerous, right? Because it's like, okay, yes, he did, and I think it's dangerous, but it's Diddy's fault for it being this.
Yeah,
dangerous.
I mean, once you get caught doing something, right, your credibility gets shot.
You got shot.
So
right?
even if that's the only thing you did, everything else you get accused of is like now in other people's eyes, just like, I don't know, you did this before, and I defended you, but so you're definitely possible of doing things.
Yeah.
But I mean. Yeah, so he got accused of like domestic violence and all that shit. I mean, his other charges are fucking
sexual
insane.
assault, fucking
trafficking,
men, women, drug trafficking, gun charges. Like
I get your point. This just because he did this doesn't mean he did that. But overall, his credibility and reputation is done for.
Yeah,
by his own.
Absolutely, by his own doing. So I think that's an extremely dangerous statement to say that just because he did this, he has done everything else. And I mean, realistically speaking, we don't know, and everything right now is just speculative until it gets confirmed throughout this investigation. So what we do know, we do see that there has been domestic violence going on. Yeah. There has been some sort of physical abuse going on, but we don't know everything else, so we can't really say that definitively the other things have happened. And I think you have to look at things objectively and when in situations like this, because it's like, okay, yeah, my emotions may be riled up because he's physically abusing a woman, and in no way am I defending Diddy's actions right now. But then, his actions may be bothersome to me, but nonetheless, the reality of it is we don't have any proof of everything else, so we just have to wait.
I mean, I think I get where she's coming from, right? Because like I said, like once you do something to fuck up your reputation, everything else that you get accused of is like on the table.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't know, right? Because like now we can't trust you.
Absolutely.
Especially because Diddy denied it all.
Yeah.
That's where Diddy really fucked up.
I was gonna say that because he lied. Yeah,
because he lied to us. And when this thing first came
twice.
Out, he said, "Yo, this is cap. Like I didn't do all this shit, right?" Because that's when he should have apologized. When he first came out, right? When he first got sued by Cassie, but that's when he should have just came out and said, like, you know what? Because I think I think if you do something wrong, your only chance of like salvation is to beat the public to it.
Right.
It's to let us know first. Like, it's like, yo, if you're dating someone, right, and you do some dumb shit, it's always better for you to tell them first than like one of your friends or like you just see that shit.
One of her friends.
Yeah, exactly.
God forbid her friends tell. But yeah, I mean, initially he definitely said, this doesn't admit fault or something like that. Yeah. Like it was like the statement that came out initially. Then in recent times, he made the post saying enough is enough. He's been quiet for too long, and
I think that was targeted towards that other guy that was suing him for like
which is what I was gonna go towards. I was gonna go towards the original conversation or the original comment saying that because he did this is because he did everything else. I think a lot of people read this last post as in a totality thing, and I think Diddy isn't a dumb person, and I feel like he's addressing certain things specifically, kind of in a cryptic way.
No, see, I can't say he's not a dumb person, man, because he's put himself in quite a fucking pickle. So by his own dumb actions, I think he has enough lawyers behind him to tell him what to say and what not to say, and where and when to say it.
Mm-hmm.
But to say he's not a dumb person, I can't even say that anymore because now look where you're at. Like,
I don't think he's
these
dumb.
weren't smart decisions that got you here.
I don't think he's dumb. I think he's arrogant. I think that his arrogance led him to believe that you're kind of superior to everyone else, right? And you could buy your way out of situations. You could pay your way out of situations. It's funny enough that like a lot of people have been doing interviews lately, and one of the things that his assistant said was when she saw this video, she's never actually seen him do any type of wrongdoing to anyone else. However, you can see with him, like the way he carries himself, is it doesn't surprise her that it's actually true what people are saying, because he carries himself in a way to where he looks at himself above everybody else. He talks to people as if they're just, I guess,
peons.
Yeah, peons or property or whatever the fuck, like you're just here for a task.
I think that's the problem,
thing.
When you're this wealthy for that long, you get so disconnected from real people and
Right.
how the rest of the world really operates that you start thinking like you're almost godlike.
Absolutely.
Like, yo, I can do whatever I want. I can smite whoever I want because anything I want, I get.
Right. I mean, Pete, think about it. People have listed him as he's been Kanye and fucking Candace Owens are saying that he's an FBI informant or agent.
That comes out. That comes out about everybody that is like always like get in trouble with that shit. Like like they said the same thing about Epstein. It's like as soon as you get caught up on some deep enough shit and you're wealthy enough, they just say like they're using you to get other people.
Possibly, but I feel like I kind of believe it because the only reason why I said it, I feel like Diddy's on a level that very rarely anyone will reach. Like you're in a space to where like not only in terms of money but also in terms of status, to where like you're so high up that like you kind of end up having like different ties and different connections. Think about it, like he was almost like
because I get what you're saying, right? Because it's like the owner of fucking Sony, right? Like he's a billionaire, but I don't know who he is, right? That guy can walk right by me. Because Diddy, like, or when you're a famous rapper or celebrity, like you are in a different space because like you're wealthy and known,
and famous
and recognized. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I think like for him, he's almost, and I think he's also used that to his advantage. With the name changes where he's like, was it Brother Love now? Like he changed his name to Brother Love. And he's trying to create this this facade of him being like so much about love and passion and
he's trying to love on these brothers. I don't doubt the name Brother Love. He's definitely trying to love on some brothers, man.
So I was saying that to say that like I think he also held some sort of political position as well, from my understanding. Maybe I'm
I think he's back political representatives. I'll say that.
And I think he's something to do with black people, to where like he's like the voice of black people or something like that. So kind of like he's,
I think that's like one of those things that like black people just deem you when you get rich enough.
No, I think this is an actual thing.
Like he has a title.
Yeah, I think it was an actual title.
Okay.
So I'm saying that to say that and also he held positions in being an ambassador. Mm-hmm. So in totality, I'm saying that to say that with you carrying such a status like that, to where your hands are kind of in every pot, right? Where you have this abundance of money, where you are looked at as a hip hop mogul, where people look at you as a god, you start to then take it in and feel it. You tend to take it in and feel it. And I think that that's the reason why he reacted the way he reacted. And I don't think it's stupidity. Yeah, it was dumb decisions, and we could look at from the outside looking in and be like, this is a dumbass decision. But I think that it's just total arrogance, And I think
I'm not doubting the arrogance, but I think the arrogance is very closely to the stupidity. Like that's just like I think we'll just agree to disagree on that. Because I think when you get arrogant, you also become stupid.
I could see that.
Because I think they're very close to each other. You know what I mean? Because like most arrogant people do dumb shit, right? So it's like you can't say you're being smart at that point.
Stupid or lack self-awareness?
All like in the same.
It's like
it's like a fruit bowl to me.
Okay.
All right, I'll read our last one. Des Dillinger wrote, waiting for the goofy motherfuckers who said she was a liar that just wanted a bag to spin the block.
That's me.
That's you?
I'm the goofy motherfucker.
You're a goofy motherfucker?
Yeah, I'm the goofy motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, like, yo, I don't think I thought she was lying. When she came out, I thought she was in it for the money. I still think she's in it for the money because I don't think I think if she wanted true justice, like, I think she had pressed criminal charges on him.
Right.
Instead of just suing him for the money. Which,
I don't think she would have waited as long as she did.
Yeah, I think, I think she wanted the money, obviously, right? Because she got the money and then kind of went away on her own. and then this resurfaced to make it look worse. I don't think people that made that statement were wrong. I think when they first came out, and I think that we should do this with everybody. When allegations come out, we shouldn't just believe them blindly about anyone, a man or woman, famous or not. I think we should wait until proof comes out.
Yeah.
Because we have this tendency now of as soon as someone gets blamed for something,
we
just
crucify them. We crucify them for that.
Which I think is insane. Yo, because what's the quote, right? You're innocent until proven guilty, right? Not guilty until proven innocent.
But in the world of social media and the public eye, you're
immediately guilty.
If
you're a man.
Once you're accused of it, you're immediately guilty. Even if you beat it. Like, people don't really care about the actual follow-up. They care about the initial accusation. Yeah. And you tend to get, like, your reputation gets
I know Slim Thug, when this situation first happened, right? He came out and said, yo, I think Cassie is just looking for a bag, right? And then the video resurfaced, and then he just set out an apology, and people are giving him shit about it. Like, yo, like, don't back down now, like, saying what you said. And it's like, no, this is what you're supposed to do, right? Like, when this first came out, there was no proof that Diddy did any of this shit. So he made his stance, right? That's what he believed. Yeah. And now that proof came out, he's apologizing. That's what a real man should do. If you're wrong, apologize. We shouldn't give him shit for apologizing now. We should be applauding him because, he can acknowledge that I was wrong before.
Yeah. I think we should. My thing is like, I think the only fault is that people look for an opportunity, and I guess we're kind of doing the same thing right now, right? Where people look for an opportunity to have an opinion on it and then go and talk about it publicly. And it shoots them in the foot, and they do it so prematurely that, like, you don't know which way that the pendulum is going to swing, right? Yeah. It could either go left, it could go right, but you make your stamp and you make a public stamp. So then it causes you to then have to pull back or recant that statement after the fact, like after the truth comes out. So for you to come out, there was no reason. What provoked you to make a video saying that she's lying about fucking money and she just wants money so early on? Like, but
it's the same thing. Like, what provoked the people to say that she was correct, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what she ended up being correct, right? Like, there was proof that what she said on the lawsuit was right. But there was it's two sides of it, right? There's people that's gonna side with it, and there's people that's gonna question it.
Yeah.
I don't really think anyone's wrong. I think when you put your opinion out there, like, you are open to criticism from everybody.
Right.
But I think once the facts come out, I think you're allowed to recorrect yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be criticizing people negatively about the ones that do it. I respect Slim Thug for apologizing, man.
Yeah.
Because most people don't apologize. They just like, you know what? I was wrong, but fuck it. I'm going to gaslight y'all into thinking I was still right. I think this is what we need.
Do you think that if I feel like he once again put himself in the public light again, and it kind of destroyed it. It kind of backfired on him, because I feel like if he had just not said anything, people wouldn't. Nobody's checking for Slim Thug's opinion,
100%. I think you're correct about it, right? But I think once you do it, right, it's your obligation to correct yourself once the facts come out.
Right.
I would feel the same way, right? If the people that were on Cassie's side, that made videos about it and made content about it, right? If she was proven to be lying, right? I think they should have done the same thing.
They would never.
But that's my point, right? I think we should applaud people that acknowledge their faults and apologize when they're wrong.
Right.
Because he apologized to Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if that probably doesn't mean shit to her, right? But I just don't get the negative feedback from it. I think it's dope, man. I think, especially in today's world, man, like, where a lot of people are prideful and egotistic. It's hard to apologize, especially when you're famous.
Right.
To do it, so, man, I think it takes a lot. It takes a lot of, like, humbleness,
No, for sure. I think it's definitely a good thing when you're able to admit you're wrong.
So we saw the video, and then a couple of days later, Diddy dropped the apology video. What do you think about Diddy's apology video?
Okay, he fooled me in the first half, right?
He fooled you, bro?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a little whimper at the end when he was ending the video. I was like, maybe he's sincere, right? But then I thought about it, and I'm like, no, that's not a sincerity, right? Because I'm all for going back to what the statement you just said right now, where you can make a mistake and do something wrong and genuinely feel sorry about it after. Now, do you have to deal with the consequences? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that you should be I think sometimes when people make a mistake or make a bad decision, we tend to crucify them for this bad decision, and this decision becomes who the person is. But reality is that a lot of us have done dumb shit like in our personal lives, and the benefit to us is we're not famous enough and nobody gives a fuck enough, so it gets unnoticed, So I think that we tend to put these people on such a high pedestal that we don't look at them as humans and saying like, okay, they have the capability of making mistakes.
Bro, I know a good amount of couples that have gotten into some domestic violence, right, and they're still together.
Absolutely, and that's one thing. Charleston White said, Charleston White was like, who gives a fuck? Like, pretty damn near. Like, he's seen this shit happen so often that like there's fighting going on back and forth, and I know couples as well that has been fighting going back and forth. Do I agree with it? No. Do I like it? No. But at the end of the day, what they do is what they do. You feel me? And I'm not gonna. If it happens in front of me, then I feel like I have some sort of responsibility to.
Yeah, you got to step in.
You have to step in and disrupt it, right? But to hear about it and for them to come to me and tell me that this is what's going on, man, that's their fucking relationship, and I'm not getting it.
My boys get punched right in the mouth, right in front of me.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I pretty much ignored it.
But would you have ignored it if he punched her in the mouth?
Probably not. Man.
Exactly.
I think I would have been more obligated to kind of stop him
because he's a man and he's the stronger person.
Yeah, I just remember
you're a hypocrite.
I am in that sense. He got punched. She was talking all this shit, and I just was like, oh, I was just kind of like, what do I like? I didn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, why the fuck would you do this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't fucking wait till he was gone, like referring to me. And I was like,
can I stop you there? That is the worst. I fucking hate when I'm being disrespected or couples that fight in public. Like, that is the worst to me. Like, if you can, I feel like, okay, you could give each other this look. Obviously the tension could be felt, but like nothing is being said. But to actually like take it to a place of like arguing and being like violent in public, I feel like, come on.
Yeah, and I'll say this, man, and obviously it's coming from a biased opinion. You can call me sexist if you want, but whatever. Women are the fucking worst at that. Anytime I've ever gotten to a public fight, it's because the girls with fucking did it. Because I'm all about let's do this shit in
private, right?
Like, women can't handle. They can't wait. Once they're angry, they gotta initiate that shit there, bro. I remember one time, me and the girl I was dating, right? We had gone out. We just got into an argument. We get into the Uber. Starts fucking spazzing me in the Uber, right?
Mm-hmm.
She starts getting the dude involved in it.
Right.
He's like, like he's a piece of shit. What do you think about this? All this shit. I'm like, why the fuck are
why are you including this guy?
Like, why are you getting another person? First of all, I was like, why are you getting another man involved? Right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't say shit the whole Uber ride. I just shut the fuck up. Because, at the end of the day, because if I start really spazzing,
you're in the wrong.
I'm in the wrong, right? But I do hate that. Like, wait till we get home.
Right.
But
I didn't, and I'm not gonna lie, I do agree with you. I definitely think it is the women that tend to push it there, and it sickens me when the guys egg it on. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if you see the videos, I haven't seen this too often in person, but it's the videos where like the man is like fighting and arguing with his girl and calling her outside of her name, like in public, yelling and like with people around. Like, that shit is disgusting to me because it's like
it's weak.
Yeah,
it's weak. It's like
as a man, like I feel like, okay, your girl. We tend to know that they tend to be like more emotional,
more volatile,
right? More irrational, right? And so if she's acting like that, then you be the bigger person walking away or whatever the fuck. Like, you have to control the situation.
The thing is, when my boy got punched, I understood the situation. Right. Just like, bro, I already know how a lot of women are, how they behave, right? They embarrassment's not a thing to them.
Right.
Shame isn't a thing to them. You know what I mean? Like they're like, fuck it, like they're kamikazes. They're gonna bring the whole fucking unit down, right?
Bro, I'm telling you, I feel like, and me being a misogynist, that people swear I am, right? I really think women they get their rocks off by embarrassing their nigga. Like,
100%.
And I feel like not only that, I feel like that's why they do that shit. So they'll disrespect their nigga in front of other people and say shit in front of other people that they know they would never say in private, right? And two, they argue with their person in front of other people because I feel as though they're looking for, if he does anything back to me, then I get the sympathy that I want.
True.
So that's why they also then, after the argument, they then run to social media and post the shit and say, well, my boyfriend did this, or I can't believe that he really said this to me, or he's a deadbeat and he doesn't do shit. And it's like a a kind of like a sympathy empathy game, you know, like they're just trying to gain like the public perception of like that you're a shitty person.
And this is I don't know, we just went on a tangent here. This is not related to this. Let's get back to that.
Right.
But yeah, so my thoughts on this Diddy's apology video, man. I think it's actually too late and too soon at the same time. I think it's too late because like, yo, you should have done this shit when the fucking lawsuit came out, before the video came out. Because if you had prepped like the public for it, I don't think the damage would have been as bad, right? I think it's too soon in the sense of like, yo, if there's more to come, which at this point, I think it is. Like, it's just like, yo, you should have just saved like for the fucking end. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, don't even bother apologizing now, man. Like, apologize when it's all out.
You don't have to apologize at each quarter.
Yeah. Cause, yeah, I mean, yo, I think at this point, bro, if I was Diddy, I'd go to fucking Bali where Russell is and stay out social media, stay out the fucking, internet. Like, just go away, man. Like, yo, you're done for. Like, the public will never forgive you. Even, there's nothing he can do at this point, right? Just, yo, go away. Enjoy your money. Enjoy retirement. Just stay the fuck away from, like, America. Just stay, yo, there's nothing to gain for you at this point.
You know what I think? I think the public would forgive him.
You think people will forgive Diddy for this shit?
I think they would. Bro, people are quick to, it's the hot take right now. And people are riled up and they have their emotions attached to this, right? But reality is you don't fucking know these people. And what tends to happen, right? Are people still upset at Kanye for his fucking Jewish antics the last time? No. Like, people are riled up. They still think he's a shitty person, but those emotions are no longer there because he's not like somebody that's actively in your life. And I think as time goes on, look, he just was able to despite that, he was able to sell what, damn near $20 million for the Super Bowl, for his Super Bowl commercial thing. And it's like, if you're really such a fucked up person, then like you wouldn't even have the opportunity to do something.
I get what you're saying, bro, but I think there's just levels to things, and there's just certain things that just people don't generally forget. Like, obviously, I think if you do, grape, anything with kids, I think domestic violence against women, not men. I think once you do like those type of three things, I think you become kind of unforgivable to the public.
You know who's done it? You know who's done it?
Who?
NBA YoungBoy. He's excelling still. You know who else has done it? Fab. He's still around.
But yeah, here's my thing, right? I know NBA YoungBoy. There's a video of him like beating up a woman by the elevators. Fab, there's no proof.
Okay.
And Fab kind of got buried. You're saying he's not excelling. Fab was like pretty consistent, as a, I think, B-class rapper for a long time. Right. Ever since those rumors came out, which once again, they're just rumors, right? Emily never came out and confirmed that Fab hit her. Like, there's no video proof that Fab hit her, right? But just the rumors itself fucking killed Fab. Because, yo, you just see it. Anytime he fucking comes out with something, right, in the comments, you're a woman beater, right? NBA YoungBoy is an enigma to me because I don't know how he got past it. But once I think he didn't get enough publicity for it.
Okay.
I don't think when he beat up that girl, I think it was one of his baby moms, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't think enough people saw it. Because then again, right, it matters how famous you are. I think when it came out, he wasn't as famous yet. So I think once NBA YoungBoy gets famous enough, that's going to resurface and it's going to bite him in the ass. But then again, his fans probably don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And he's not a public figure like Diddy is. Like,
hold that thought.
Okay.
Chris Brown.
I mean, has he really gotten over it? I mean, people fucking bring that shit up weekly.
I think they bring it up weekly, but he still has been in movies since then. He still has sold albums since then. He's still deemed as the king of R&B right now.
I don't think he gets king R&B vibes at all.
You don't think he gets kings of R&B vibes?
No, so public, like my personal opinion, right? Okay. I think he's one of the greatest artists of all time.
Right.
My personal opinion, right? I think in the public's eye, he's like a 60-40. I think 60% of the public still fucking dislikes him and they bring up that Rihanna shit every chance they get. Right. I think 40% of the public is like, yo, it happened when he was young. Let's move on from it. Rihanna forgave him. He's fucking done with it. And also, he keeps doing dumb shit, right? With other women, right? Like, so that it's hard to forgive him. I don't like that situation, Chris Brown, like that one situation will fuck him up for the rest of his life. Like, no matter what, it'll always be attached to him.
Always on to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would, like, for all we know, it was just like that one time situation, right? Diddy has so many other charges against him right now, which are way heavier that this is just like, it's just enough. Like, yo, I was looking for a reason not to like you. Like this really was like the nail in the coffin. So I think honestly, bro, he should just fucking go away, man. Like you made your money. Like you don't need to do anything else, right? Like just let your fucking kids take over the company. You know, even though they're doing dumb shit. They're what is his other son dropped a fucking
diss track to the FBI.
It's like what are you thinking?
You
bro?
didn't check this house next door. We own that too. That's a stash house.
Like, bro, it's like your dad's already in enough trouble. Your family's going through all this shit. Why would you call the FBI? Yo, I think that might have been one of the reasons why the FBI probably leaked the fucking thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, where? Here, take this.
Yeah.
Take that.
Boom. Now where you at?
Right. No, I think that, honestly, I low-key believe that he got his father's blessing for that.
I believe it, right? That's a dumb guy telling a dumb kid what to do, right? That's what I mean. Like, these people are dumb. They're doing dumb shit. And I get it, right? It's like, who am I, like, to call a billionaire dumb?
Right.
Like, but they're doing dumb shit that's, like, tearing up their own reputation, man.
I mean, here's the thing. I think the thing that will fuck Diddy over, and I do think with enough time, I think he does have to give it time. And I don't think it's something that he can do, that he can resurface from right now. I think he's going to have to, it's going to have to die down. The next big thing is going to have to happen. Like,
but you're assuming this ends now with Diddy.
No. I'm saying, let's just say whatever it ends, right? Let's just say, okay, it in the perfect case scenario, right? This video drops. They do the investigation. They don't get nothing on him. He doesn't go to jail. He just roams the world free, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that he has to lay low until let enough time pass, let the next situation happen, and then can start poking his head back, peeking out to see, is it safe yet for me to come back out? And the only reason why, but I think it's going to be to his detriment, is because people tend to forget you when you're not present, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yo, but let it die, but just go away.
Right.
Yo, because what do you gain from coming back? You're not really dropping music, right? You dropped the album about a year ago. Nobody gave a fuck. You had to be, all these companies that you're under control, pretty much you have to let them go. Like, yo, you're a billionaire. Like, you got it. You got money till you die. You don't need clout. We all know you did. And yo, I get it, bro. Diddy's obviously like a piece of shit guy, right? From what we could tell at this point. But we can't deny what he's done for hip hop, right? He's done amazing things for hip hop. Right. We grew up on him. And I think this is why it's like it hurts even more, because it's like, damn, another one of the guys that we really fucking looked up to, gets caught up on some dumb shit. You know, It's like fucking R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Diddy. It's like, what the fuck, man? Right. Like, can we have one guy that that did amazing things?
You got Drake on the fucking chopping block right now.
It isn't a piece of shit, right? But once again, right? It's just like, but yo, we respect what you did, but now it's like, yo, we can't look at you. We can't look at you the same way. So just go away, man. Just go away.
Just go away.
Nah, bro.
Treating him like Lassie.
Bro, it's in his best interest, yo. Just go away. Get out of the public eye. Don't get on the camera again. Maybe come back in 20 years, man. I don't know. But
these guys are, the thing is that, yeah, he's a billionaire, but that isn't enough for him. It's also about status. It's also about control and power, So yeah. I don't think he will be fulfilled just having money and disappearing, because essentially he'll be powerless. It's like you don't have that thing that drives you anymore,
which is dumb. That's my point. This is dumb, right? Yeah. You achieved everything. You won that life for the most part. You know what I mean? Just stop. Just stop.
Give it up.
It's not getting better, man.
Okay.
But let's talk over. What do you think about Cameron on CNN? So for y'all that don't know, CNN for some reason got Cameron to go and talk about the Diddy situation, and boy was it entertaining.
I felt like this was okay. I don't know, man. I think that there's a certain way that you conduct yourself when you're in the public eye. You feel me? I think that was just ignorant as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was because most of the time, most of us, right? We know who Cameron is, because once again, we grew up with Cameron. Yeah. He has this podcast. People are tapping into it, so he's in our daily feed, right? Mm-hmm. For the people that don't know who the fuck Cameron is, these old ass white people, old grandma fucking sitting at home listening to this shit, she's gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And then it pushes the narrative that black people are ignorant and we have no decorum and we're fucking disrespectful, and it's
and we don't take anything serious.
Exactly. And it's that's so, I feel like it makes us take a step backwards as a society. You know, it's like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, I get the fact that you're frustrated at the reasons why you were brought there. If you feel me, but like to conduct yourself in that light now, especially when you're a business owner, like you have a successful podcast, right? And I don't know if they have sponsorships or whatever.
I think he was like promoting like his Viagra.
Yeah, like some fucking drink, and he's like,
I'm about to get some cheeks afterwards.
Right. It's like, yo, it's like you have sponsorships, you have fucking you have your business, and it's like, I don't know. To me, it's just like, do you think people are gonna want to work with somebody that conducts themselves like that?
Yo, so I think Cameron definitely looked ignorant on the on CNN, right? But to be honest with you, man, I respect the consistency. Yeah, there was
consistency of ignorance.
Yo, there was no code switching, and it's like if you know the guy, if you watch his podcast, you know what to expect, right? I really think it was on CNN. It was CNN's fault because it's like, yo, why would you like? What do you think we care? Like, why would we care about what Cameron thinks about the situation, right? And I think that's what he gave out on the video. I think he's capable of having an intellectual conversation, but he chose ignorance on purpose because I feel like it seems like he was tricked.
Okay.
It seems like that wasn't the reason they told him like that they were gonna get him.
Yeah, he was bamboozled.
Yeah, he was kind of like, because even in the video, he's like, yo, like what? Like,
who booked me for this shit?
Like, why would y'all do this, right? Yo, I hate when these situations happen and then we rely on celebrities to tell us that they think it's wrong, right?
Right.
Because obviously, I think Cameron thinks it's wrong. He said it like, yo, of course I don't stand with domestic violence. I don't stand with any like rape situations or assault and stuff like that, right? Because they like even Shine, which is one of P. Diddy's old rappers, right? He put out a statement saying, I denounce everything that Diddy did in that video. Yeah, no shit. Like I don't need to hear that you denounce this, right? Any human being, like with any kind of fucking sense, is gonna denounce it. I just hate when we put so much pressure on these people like to like put out a statement. It's like, yo, do you think they think it's okay?
But I think that's the problem though. I think what has been happening is a lot of people have been pretty much speculating that if this is what he's been doing behind, like in the open, what is he doing behind closed doors? And now they think that everybody that surrounds him had an idea of what is going on. And the reality of it is that it's unfair to the people that have been associated with him, because now you're grouping me into this behavior. It's kind of like we've had this analogy before, right? One of your boys get accused of grape, right? One of your boys get accused of grape, and it's like you're chilling with him, but you're around him. It's like now everybody thinks that you know what the fuck he's doing, and you're co-signing his fuckery. And you
condone it,
right?
Which isn't people live outside lives of what we know. Right?
Exactly.
So if you're my boy and you get accused of some shit, right, that I've never seen you do, that I can't really even fathom you doing, of course I'm gonna stand by you, right? Because you're my friend. I think I know you, right?
Yeah.
But if proof comes out that like, oh shit, you did do it, yeah, I'm gonna backtrack. All right, I'm gonna be like, fuck, I was wrong, right?
Right.
So I know a lot of people are giving Jay-Z shit right now for being friends with Diddy and that he knows what he's going on. It's like, yo, that doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
Right? They're probably business partners. Anytime they link up, it's probably like, yo, how are we gonna make
formal events and like, making more money? It's like, it's not like I'm in I'm not talking to him every day, chilling at his house while he's fucking whooping Cassie's ass. It's like I think a lot of people have that view that the security guards know, the assistants know, the fucking your friends know, everyone that's around him knows, and it's like it forces these people to then have to come out and make statements like that, like like Shine having to come out and say that he denounces it.
Yeah, because
bringing Cameron up there.
If he doesn't, right, like a good amount of the public, the good amount of stupid public, come out. Well, he didn't say he's against. No, he's gonna say you didn't say he's against it, so you must condone it.
Right.
That's not how it works, man.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, speaking of bodyguards, right? Like his bodyguard or his ex-bodyguard, or security, Roger Bonds, has been on the news a lot, or just on podcasts, like talking about all this shit, and he's getting a lot of shit now, right? Where people are like, yo, if you knew this was going on, why didn't you report it at the time?
Right.
And I get the question.
Right.
I understand the question, right? But realistically, right? Diddy's still a powerful person, right? This is the guy that employs you.
Yeah.
I understand like why he wouldn't say anything, right? Like, because if the person that's happening to isn't saying anything, like, why is he gonna say it? And at the end of the day, yo, you could be scared for your life, right? Like, what if, you tell on Diddy and next thing you know, your fucking family's in trouble or you're getting, chased down or your life's in danger.
I mean, and
or you're real and it's your money. This is your meal ticket.
Which is a true thing because, like, and I'm not here to spread rumors, right? But there's speculation that Diddy fucking has done things to people that have, how to word this in a way that isn't like I'm spreading rumors. Diddy has done things to people around him that he wasn't too fond of, more so in like the romantic setting, right? And it's like, if no, like he's killed people, like he's had people killed essentially, like like he's had, like, people are speculating that there's been a lot of deaths surrounding Diddy, and it's kind of been cushioned as natural causes. And if there is even the likelihood of there being a possibility that this is happening, right? Why would I put myself in that position, right? Where one, it's like, okay, here's a person that's high and mighty and powerful, has enough money to make my death look like an accident. Why the fuck would I even?
Yeah, and if he's doing this to the women he loved, like, I'm not even gonna be a second thought.
Right, the women he loved, their love interests, like people that are thinking about dating them. I think even
he said like he was about to blow up Kid Cudi's car or some shit,
and his car blew up, nigga.
Oh, it did blow up.
Yeah, his car did catch on fire and blew up, nigga. Like this, if we're dealing with somebody that's on this fucking level
with the resources,
right?
Yo, I don't fault the security guard for keeping his mouth shut until now. I think it's brave of him to come out now. I think it's still brave. I think obviously there's some financial motivation.
Right.
I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
Which I still think, everyone suing Diddy's has some financial motivation.
Absolutely.
Which, like, let's just be real, right? Like that's what it is, right? But I think it's still brave for the security guard to come out now and say some shit. Because at the end of the day, like, he can still just wipe you out.
Yeah. He could still make that call and still have the money to fucking cover it up, essentially, But for the security guard, I think that I don't know. I think that I do think it's distasteful for him to come out now, for these security guards to start coming out now. The only one that I didn't really have too much of an issue with was the assistant, because it was more like, it seemed like it was just like her just speaking her truth. She kind of was just like kept out of it. She said, he never disrespected me. And so I can't officially say that, I was a witness to anything that happened, but it does seem like his personality type. But all of these other people that are coming out,
that's a very political correct statement.
But I think like she's the only one to me that has been like, okay,
sincere.
She's just like, she doesn't want any parts of it. Like she's just like, I'm not surprised, but don't include me in this.
I don't want any money out of this. I don't want parts.
Right. I don't want parts of it. I think all these other people that are coming out now after the fact that he's found out, I think they're cowards, to be honest with you.
I mean, like you seen the little Scrappy saying like, if I saw Diddy right now, I'd fight him.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you feel me? It's like, I think that,
bro, you've seen Diddy before. You should have fought him then. Like,
people have like this itch to just like want to bandwagon with whatever the public perception is. You feel me? Like they want and be relevant. You feel me? It's like, okay, the narrative right now is that when Diddy wasn't accused of it, let me side with him because he's the most powerful person, and I don't want to I don't want to piss him off, and I want to stay in his good graces. But now everyone hates him. It's like, let's bandwagon together to like jump on his case and support women and to also gain their fucking 2 seconds of clout, So for me, it's just like, I don't think he's courageous for coming out. I think it's cowardly. Honestly.
You think it's cowardly?
Yeah, I think it's cowardly to now that the evidence is out there. Now you want to come out and say something. Now you're doing interviews and you're getting paid for these interviews. You're not doing them for free. So it's
I don't know, bro. I get the cowardly point of view from it. I still think it's like you're still putting yourself in some sort of danger because this guy's obviously nuts.
Right.
Like he's blowing up cars.
Right.
I don't think you're too safe. I feel like you definitely got to move accordingly if I was him. But
they don't think about that. But I think people think about the immediate gratification, which is I'm getting money right now.
I mean, even this Diddy situation even got the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, in some trouble because
really,
about a year ago they gave Diddy the key to the city, and now they're like, oh, we might have to take that shit back, and that's never been done before.
Right.
But I think you definitely got to revoke Diddy's key at this point. Like,
I mean, you gave it to bad. I think it's like you gave it to him based off of the place where he was at that point in time. Like I didn't give it to you knowing the information I know now. Like
yeah, but that's what I mean. But like I said earlier, it's okay to apologize. It's
Yeah.
okay to go back on what you said earlier when you get the facts.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, I think it's
I
kind
mean,
of
like I
like,
said, yo, Diddy was a big part of New York. He really put, I don't want to say put New York on the map, but he represented New York like in the hip hop scene like very loudly. You know?
yeah. And you know, it's like you have done all of this work and you built yourself up to this place, and I think you're deserving of that. Now, to have your actions that has happened throughout there caught like worth you it being revoked, I do think so. But I don't think the mayor should catch flack for that shit. You know, it's like he's not fucking at these Diddy parties chilling. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe he is. Maybe who knows?
Man.
He's
Yo,
fucking.
but you know
No,
how
I'm talking
these-
about the Diddy parties. Like,
I still don't know, bro. Yo, 'cause, yo, you know, like these Congress people, man, they get a little weird.
yeah, they do some
The,
wild shit.
the higher up you get, the weirder it gets, man.
They're always in some scandals.
Yeah. What other celebrities have been responding to this?
We have Joe Budden.
I'm interested to see what Joe Budden says on this Diddy situation because when it first came out a couple months ago, he was really reluctant to say anything because I think he said like, "Yo, this is like one of my friends. He watches the pod, so I'm not gonna really speak on it." But like I said, I understand at that point there was no actual hardcore proof yet. So I get it. It's like, you know, it's one of your friends. You're gonna write out for them. But I think right now, I think he definitely needs to like put out a statement when he shoots his next.
And I think to Cam and Joe Budden's defense, which those are the only ones that seem like they had some sort of relationship with him, right?
Well, Cam didn't seem like he knew Diddy that well. He just because he knew Mace.
Mace, right?
And then Mace obviously was signed to Diddy, so he kind of put that bridge together for them. But,
right. So for the people that are, so for the friends of Diddy, right? I think once again the public is kind of crucifying them in a way that is unfair for them as well, because it's like, okay, at the end of the day, like he's my friend, you feel me? And just because he did some fucked up shit, does that mean that I come online and fucking disrespect him publicly or shit on him publicly? I think bottom line it's like, okay, I think people's loyalty isn't grounded enough. And I'm not saying you be loyal to the actions of the person. That's not what I'm saying. Do not misinterpret what I mean.
Okay.
Right? Like I'm saying you are loyal. People's loyalty tends to be very circumstantial, right? And it's like, okay, if you're, for example, right? We had a conversation about Fresh and Fit, right? Where Fresh ended up apparently getting some girl pregnant, and Myron rode for him, and he's like, one of the things that he said, my friendship isn't dependent on the good times or only, it's dependent on the bad times as well. Okay. And so because I told him in private how much of a dumbass he is for doing this decision. Now, do I have to come on in the public and shit on him publicly for this? And I think that speaks volumes, because it's like, at the end of the day, you know, yes, his actions were fucked up, right? And we all have personal opinions about how we feel about domestic violence, especially when it's the woman is the victim in a sense, right? But nonetheless, this is his friend at the end of the day. And you guys don't know what conversations, and we don't know what conversations are being happening behind closed doors. So to force somebody to have to make a public statement about where they stand on this, it's an unfair thing, because at the end of the day, like I said, you're my friend, and I may choose to not even fuck with you after this because of what I've seen. But that doesn't mean I have to shit on you because of it.
Yeah, true.
You know, like that doesn't mean I have to disrespect you. I have to tell all your secrets after the fact. You feel me?
Yo, like I'm just done with
I'm
you.
just cool. We're just good. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yo, I think moving forward though, I just hope we have consistency with outrage.
Right.
Because I do remember, I don't know what it is with celebrities and elevators, but that's where they like the violence gets brought out of them, man. I mean, obviously you've seen it with Quavo, you know, like and Sweetie, like a couple years ago, elevator situation, right? Jay-Z and Solange, elevator situation. But that like, so this situation made me think about that Solange one where like she hit, you know, Jay-Z and Jay-Z, you know, didn't do anything, right? But I remember people were cheering her on, right? And it was because obviously I guess Jay-Z had cheated on Beyonce, so it was justified that Solange hit Jay-Z. But to me, I don't think anyone should be putting their hands on anyone. So I want to be consistent when we're angry at these celebrities about this shit, right? Because if it comes out that Cassie cheated on Diddy, right, it still wouldn't justify his actions, right? We'd still be just as mad. Yeah. So we shouldn't just give passes to women that hit men or just anyone, right? Just because we like them or we think it's justified. Unless it's self-defense, I don't think anyone should be putting their hands on anybody.
But that's the thing also, that it brings me to my other point that we don't know what the fuck is going on behind closed doors, you know? And people have also, I think the security guard said that Cassie has hit Diddy multiple times as well.
I didn't hear that.
Bro, one of these people, when one of these interviews have said that there has been domestic violence on both parts. It's not just Diddy just whooping Cassie's ass. Cassie has been punching Diddy in the face as well.
Really?
Yeah, and been
what was it Roger Bonds? That security guard?
I don't know which one. Like I told you, I'm listening to all of this stuff like when I'm driving. But one of the security guards have also come out and said that it's been mutual between them two. Like she has put her hands on him, he has put his hands on her, and we don't know what the fuck is going on behind closed doors. Now, could we judge her for the things that we haven't seen? No. But
because I didn't do that to him, so I can't do that to her. So
right.
I got to be fair in that.
Exactly. You feel me? We can't.
Unless I see video of her doing anything wrong, then I got to just go with what we've seen.
And I think rightfully so. We have to go with what we've seen. But I think there is a reality that we don't know what the fuck is going on behind closed doors, and we don't know what the fuck led him to get to this place. And now, am I saying that she holds responsibility for getting her ass whooped? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we don't know all we have is this 1 minute clip of him beating our ass, which is rightfully so, or which rightfully we have a reason to be upset about that. Yeah. But I think like outside of that, we don't know the dynamics of the relationship. So chill the fuck out.
Yeah. I mean, yo, this kind of ties into that whole thing that happened. Was it like a month ago on TikTok? The man versus bear.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Who would you rather see in the woods, bro? Diddy or the bear?
Nah, Diddy for other reasons. I don't know if I want to see that nigga.
In the woods?
That nigga might have some of that pink cocaine. I'm good, bro.
Yo, so all right,
he might do that shit that LeBron does. Okay. Blow that shit in my face, and next thing you know.
So I mean, let's get into it a little bit, right? So for I don't know, there's like a trend on TikTok about a month ago that some guy was interviewing women, asking like, yo, if you were alone in the woods, who would you rather see? A man that you don't know or a bear?
Yeah.
Most women were picking the bear. Yeah. Right. And a lot of men were angry online. They felt disrespected. They felt insulted. And before we get into our personal opinions on the topic, I just want to read some stats I read online.
Okay.
So, according to illustratedteacup.com, there are about 40 bear attacks on humans worldwide each year, with about 14% of those attacks being fatal. The odds of being attacked by a bear are about 2.1 in a million. So
2.1?
Yeah, in a million. So so your odds of not being attacked by a bear are pretty good.
Pretty good. Right?
Yeah, you got a chance. So there are about 433,000 cases of SA or grape annually in the U.S. among people ages 12 and under. So 1 out of every 6 women have been a victim of SA, and pretty much 81% of women nationwide have been a victim SA. So I understand why women are picking the bear. Right. I understand the point they're trying to make. I think realistically, they don't mean it. Right. I think if you had an option, if you're gonna go into the woods, right, I think I'd rather. So I'm speaking for myself, right? I'd rather see a man than a fucking bear, right? Not Diddy. I'd pick the bear over Diddy, but I understand the point that women are trying to make. That then the fear where it comes, right? And I think a lot of men are missing the point, right? And I think here's why. I think so many men get angry when women choose the hypothetical bear over a random man in the woods is because I think a lot of us aren't those men, right? I think a lot of us men are the ones doing these awful acts to women. So we get categorized with them.
We take it personal.
Yeah, so we take it personal. It's like, yo, why the fuck would you choose a bear over me when I haven't done any shit to women, right? But I don't think we're not thinking outside of ourselves. So, but that's what I think. What about you?
So I didn't know the stats on the bear thing. I thought it was completely dumb for anybody to fucking pick a bear over.
No, it's dumb. It's dumb, right? But I think the women choosing the bear know it's dumb. But I think it's to prove a point.
Right. Yeah. And I saw that I've heard some people actually like speaking on it, and the reasons that they said it, they could run a bear, they could run away from a bear, they could stand their ground.
You're not outrunning a bear.
Right. You're not outrunning a bear. They think that you could stand their ground and scare a bear off. That's some bears. Grizzly bears are getting cooked. You feel me? Like it's like so for me, I think that there's some validity to the fear behind it though.
Quick interruption. Yeah, if you see a black bear, you have a chance. Brown bear, you're pretty much done. A white polar bear, you're
cooked.
Fucking
you're cooked.
Yeah, you don't even. Yeah,
you're fucking cooked.
They didn't specify the bear in the hypothetical scenario, so it could be each one.
Yeah. And I think black bears are more common than grizzly bears also.
Where we're at.
Right.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I could see the fear behind, you know, being seen in a forest, or being left alone in the forest with a man. And it's not so much obviously the actual scenario. I think it's just the fear behind being left alone with men in general, you know. And one woman said specifically, she would rather get killed than to have to deal with the consequences of rape, you know. So I'm like, it's so crazy that we even, as men, we have pushed women to the point to where they have to make a decision like this. And it's disheartening, you know. Like it's upsetting that like people actually feel like this. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of like the whole black versus white thing, right? To where
Also,
because it's like, nonetheless, it's like our actions as a society have obviously like not even 100% our actions solely, but like I think that as black people, we have done so much disruption with amongst ourselves that people think that we're savages. You know, people think that we have no decorum. People think that we have no morals. They think that, you know, that there is a fear behind, like, they're more afraid of us than we are of them, you know, and we're afraid of.
but that's such a fucking deep conversation, though, because go ahead.
But I'm talking about surface level wise.
Yeah.
Obviously, we could take it deeper, right?
Yeah.
We could take it deeper with the men as well, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, on a surface level wise, white people looking at us, is kind of like the same way that women are looking at us. You know, like I think that it's a twofold thing, and it's only like our fault essentially. You know, like we're responsible for that perception. Now, is there 100% truth? No, I'm not saying that. And is it repairable? I don't know. You know, like I don't know if this would ever be the thing that.
I mean, I think there's some
repaired.
women out there, man, that they're so far gone and like I hate men trained that like they're gone. Like they're not. They don't want to deal with men. You know, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
I think we should respect people's decisions, bro. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for leave women alone.
Right.
I think women have been very vocal about it, that they don't want men approaching them. They don't want men talking to them. I'm fucking cool with it, bro.
Right.
Like, if that's how you feel, if you feel like men are that much of a danger, then I can't change that, right? Because at the end of the day, like, I'm not adding to that. I'm not a part of that, right? But even though I'm not a part of it, I still get categorized in this fucking, sphere of like all men are dangerous and shit. So I can't change your perception, unfortunately. Like, I can only be the best version of myself and the best version of a man and raise my two boys to be the best men.
Versions of themselves, yeah.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry if you got into that way, but like at the end of the day, that's some work you got to do within, right? But I think we as men, I think we said on the podcast before, we got to hold ourselves accountable
as well.
We see, especially our friends, I'm fortunate in the way that I don't think any of my friends do really dumb shit. You feel me? Like, even as far as like if they try to talk to a girl and she says no, they just take it.
Right.
No one's like, hunting down on chicks or like really peer pressuring them, you know what I mean? But like, so I don't like, I've been fortunate to have a male friend group that's not like that. But I can imagine like, if you have a friend that's in your group that does shit like that, could be an awkward conversation. Like, how would you approach, if you see one of your boys like being kind of too aggressive to a woman, right? Like, how would you approach that situation?
No, you just gotta you just pull them to the side, or not pull them to the side, but just, I would honestly interject, like kind of just like wedge myself in between and be like, come on, bro, like, we're out of here, like.
But you also got to prepare to, like, when that happens, like, for that to escalate to a physical situation, man.
I mean, it's kind of like the reality of it, but I feel like at the end of the day, I just can't sit back and allow something like that to happen.
Because it makes the whole group look bad.
Yeah, it makes everyone look bad. Like, even in situations where like somebody is just making themselves look like a fool, it's like, even when it's like going against, like, let's just say they're not being aggressive, but they're just making themselves look stupid. Like you go out drinking and your friend is like sloppy drunk, falling all over the place and looking dumb. It's just like, me as a friend, as a bystander, everybody saw us come, not everybody, but people have saw us come in together, So for me to just let you fucking look stupid like this, then I'm a shitty friend. And it's the same thing in that situation. Like, for me to allow you to disrespect this woman or be super aggressive or make this woman uncomfortable, then no, bro, like, we're not doing that. And I'm going to pull you to the side. And maybe you were drunk and this happened, and I'm going to have a conversation with you the next day. Like, all right, we're calling it a night. But bro, you were wilding yesterday. Like, you need to chill the fuck out. You need to tone it down. And I'm not going to lie, I may not go back out with you again. Like,
I mean, I said, I've been pretty lucky. I've never had like too
Yeah.
many guys. I was in one situation. I think I might have been like 19, right? I was out with the guy. We're out at a parade or something like that, right? And he was like hollering at some chicks, but he was being like borderline disrespectful in a sense. Like it's like it's to the point like I don't even think you really want these women, man. Like the way you're talking to them is like there's no way they're gonna be receptive to this, right? And I remember like he got called out for it, and we didn't go out with them for years, and then, like we kind of like met up later on in life, and like the guy was like a change person, like completely changed. And I just remember it was refreshing to see that, like, oh man, like, cause yeah, I remember when we went out with them again. I'm like, I had my worries because I'm like, oh, I hope you're not on that fucking bullshit again. Used to be. But I think because I remember when he got approached when it happened, like he was not receptive to it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I mean, they're about to fight, pretty much, but. No one fought. Everyone kind of he stood his ground. Like, you know, this is how I fucking do it. I get women either way. But the guy's like, yo, like, dude, I have a fucking mother.
Mm-hmm.
Which I hate when people use that. Like, I have a mom or I have daughters. To like, yo, you shouldn't. Having a mom or having daughters isn't a good enough excuse not to disrespect women. I don't think you need that just to justify, right? I think no one should be disrespecting anybody or putting your hands on anybody. Like,
regardless.
It's like what the fuck does that mean? I have a mom, I have a daughter. Like, I would never let that happen.
So
like,
I don't.
Yeah.
So this guy doesn't have a mother.
Yeah.
Like
it's like, yo, like Diddy has daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy has a mom. Like that didn't fucking stop him. Like I just don't use that. Like I don't buy into that being like a valid excuse. I'm like, oh, I would never do that. I have a daughter. It's like, you still could be a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if you have a son, you can still be a piece of shit woman. It's like I don't get. But it was like a refreshing to see someone that like changed the behavior.
Right. I mean, I think that, and that's reality of it. You know, like I once again going back to what I said before, that people tend to make bad decisions and or have the capability of changing, you know, and being remorseful for their decisions. But for me, like I said, I think that as men, we do hold some responsibility for the way that these women feel about us. Is it dramatic? Yes, I would say it's a dramatic scenario, but we see the videos online, we hear the stories in the news, you know, we've all know somebody personally that something like this has happened to. So we do hold some sort of responsibility. They're not pulling it out of thin air, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that we have to either one, conduct ourselves better, or two, we have to one, conduct ourselves better, hold each other responsible for that whenever we see it, and make sure that we create an environment where women can feel safe, you know? Like I think that that's our responsibility. It's kind of like, once again, going back to the whole black and white thing, you know, bro, I'm a large black man. I know I can't walk up behind somebody I know in certain situations I have to be a little bit more mindful of it. You know, I have to be a little bit nicer. I have to be a little bit more palatable. I have to change my ways.
You got to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, I got to change my ways, or not even change my ways, but just be more cognizant of what I'm doing because of the other person's perception. And is it right? No, but nonetheless, it's the reality.
I mean, that is the reality. We're all kind of prejudged,
right?
So it's our job in the sense to like, all right, break that character that you have with me. Right?
Exactly.
Like
even though it's not, you're not mad at me. You're not fearful of me specifically, but nonetheless,
you're mad at what I potentially represent.
Exactly, my point. So I think as men, you know, we also have to do a better job in that sense, you know, where we have to make sure that we're representing ourselves around women the best way possible as well.
They don't pick the bear.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk some music real quick.
Yeah, we can hit some music.
All right. Who we got? Let's talk. Chief Keef.
Yeah.
So Chief Keef dropped Amighty So 2, had 16 songs on it. Features were Quavo, Sexy Red, G Herbo, Tierra Whack, Michael Blackson. Did some skits on it.
Yeah.
It sold about 23,000 units on its first week, which is kind of low, but from my understanding, he's completely independent.
Okay.
So 23,000 just on your own with no backing is pretty good.
Yeah.
So what'd you think about the album?
I think the album was pretty okay. I think it was kind of like a niche album. You know, it kind of gave me the same sound as Meek Mill's album that no one fucking talks about that just dropped a couple months ago.
Okay.
It has like that same similar sound where I feel like it's good, but it's not captivating enough.
I think like a rapper like Chief Keef, right? He has his core fan base, and I think he makes music for them.
Right.
And that's all that really matters. Like, I
Mhm.
don't think he's looking for, a mainstream, play like how he had when he first came out.
Yeah.
I mean, yo, I'm a pretty casual Chief Keef fan. Like, if he drops a banger, I typically listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't typically listen to all his, like, a full-length project.
Right.
But I think this might have been, like, the first whole Chief Keef album that I, like, listened from front to back. I gotta say, man, I was kind of impressed by it. Like, the fucking intro, the first song, energy was on 1,000. And I think it set the tone for the rest of the album.
Yeah.
I liked how it wasn't too monotone. Like,
okay.
it was a good amount of, like, changes and beats and sounds. Like, some of the songs, I'm like, is this even him? Like, it sounds so different.
Even one of the songs, so I like the song with G Herbo, right?
And G Herbo kind of snapped, yo. Yeah. I'm not a really G Herbo fan, yo.
Right, I like the song with G Herbo, and then there was a song, I don't remember the name of it specifically, but it was a song that followed after that almost sounded like the way G Herbo raps on his music, and I was like, whoa, like this is dope. Like, it's not even like one of the biggest complaints that we have, especially with like the Baby and Little Baby, is that their flows and their rapping sounds the same, And I feel like Chief Keef swapped it up in there and enough to where it's like I wasn't even able to tell, like you said, I wasn't even able to
Chief Keef,
right? Which one is him specifically? And honestly, I haven't heard his voice in so long. The last song I really listened to with Chief Keef is Love Sosa. You feel me? So to hear his young voice to his older voice, I'm like, oh shit, like this is a transition.
I mean, if you're like a lyrical, spiritual guy, this is not the album for you. But if you're into kind of like a drill type shit, more into violence music, which I mean, listening to this shit, I was like, yeah, it just makes you want to commit crimes. Like, it just brings that energy out of you, man.
I'm not gonna lie, it gave me like old Future vibes.
You know what? It did give me like a mixtape vibe. Like this, it felt like a mixtape, but like obviously a really well constructed mixtape.
Right. Yeah, it definitely gave me like a.
Overall, I liked it. I think I'll go over my favorite songs. Treat Myself, I liked. Too Trim, 1, 2, 3, and Jesus. What I think it was like Lil Nerf or something. Like whoever the rapper was, one that song I really like. I like.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was a solid album. I'd give it probably like a 7.1. I think it's pretty high for someone that's not like the biggest Chief Keef fan.
Right.
I thought it was a different sound in hip hop. It wasn't like that. I don't know how to describe that sound that's like every rapper has nowadays.
Right. It's like that auto-tune, like melodic rock
vibe, like it was good. Yeah, I like the mix up.
Yeah. So I would say I feel like our ratings are typically pretty close near each other.
Really?
I was gonna say 7, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think we don't agree too often, but I think all right, bet.
Yeah.
And then Gunna also dropped the album. One of Wun had 20 songs, sold about 83,000 in its first week. It had features from Offset, Leon Bridges, Roddy Ricch. I didn't know this guy's still alive, and Normani.
Roddy Ricch is still alive.
So what'd you think of Gunna's new album?
So Gunna's new album, honestly, I didn't even listen to it.
You didn't listen to it?
No, I didn't listen to Gunna's new album. I got to Chief Keef's album, and I finally I ran that one up. But I like to, for me personally, like I like to listen to albums more than once.
Okay.
Because I feel like you listen to it once, it gives you one feel, and then
you pick up things that you haven't listened to it before, right?
Right.
So all right, you didn't listen to it, so I'll kind of just give you my point of view on it. So it was too alike. So monotonous. The overall album, it's a dope album. I think if you're a Gunna fan, if you like his music, this is probably your type of music. But I'm a kind of a casual Gunna fan. I think when he drops bangers, I fuck with them. But I like this album better than the one he dropped last year when he first got out of prison.
Okay.
This one was different because it had features on it. The other one didn't.
I mean, he was alone at that point.
Yeah. I think he's like rebuilding friendships and stuff like that. My only thing is, bro, like it almost sounds like it's just one continuous song. The whole album, like it sounds like it's just one sound. The beats don't really change. He raps the same in almost every song. So it's like, if you like one song, you're probably gonna like all 20 songs.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason for the name, One of Wun. Like it's just like
maybe. I mean, like there's a couple songs that sound a little different here and there, but overall, I'm gonna give Gunna's new album maybe like a 6.7. But just because
that's still pretty. That's a fucking 7. That's still pretty high.
7's a 7. A 6.7 is not
that's
a 7.
Still
right?
pretty high.
Yo, my thing is, it just all sound, it just blended too much. You know when the songs just started blending too much, and like, did this song end or start?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it did pretty well numbers wise. I think he talked a little bit. I feel like he actually took a little shot at Drake on the album too.
Really?
Yeah, he said something about like getting real abs or something like that. I feel like anything with ab associated, I was like, just a shot at Drake.
Is Drake?
Yeah.
Drake related?
Yeah.
I mean, which is crazy because he should have took a shot at fucking Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is the one that said you look like you make Gunna One of some shit or something like that.
Kind of. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know. Maybe you got a fucking you shot the wrong person.
I mean, the song with Roddy Ricch on it though was fire.
Really? Did Roddy Ricch step his fucking game up?
Yo, Roddy Ricch talked some shit on this feature, man. I was, bro. Guys, I haven't really heard music from this guy in a minute. Like, I feel like he just fell off the face of the earth, and he was like, Roddy Ricch to me was like one of the guys that's gonna be next up on hip hop.
I think his issue is like he almost mimics like that the Kendrick style of like publicity. He doesn't really like social media like that.
But
and
his
I feel like
music isn't good enough to back.
Yeah, he's not stamped enough and grounded enough in the industry to be like, okay, I could just disappear off the face of the earth and no one and people are still gonna like me. You know?
Okay.
I think he's too fresh for making a decision like that.
I see that. Like, he needs to be more reachable.
Yeah.
Like, we got to see more of him, right? Like, it just can't just be his music.
Yeah.
But yo, I could kind of get what you're saying, because like his first like 2 mixtapes were really fire. Like when I first got introduced to him.
Yeah.
And then his last album, man, it was just like,
it was terrible.
It was just nothing on it. It was nothing you can get out of the album, because the last one had The Box, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that like his second to last album wasn't that good, but it had The Box when the fucking song like did amazing.
Yeah.
The album before that was just like straight heat. The one with Ballin' on it. Like,
I think that, but for him, he I don't know if he's resurfable for him. Honestly, I think any artist is resurfable as long as they come out with bangers. But the thing is, I feel like it's yes and no. So I do think they have to come out with bangers, but I do think they also need like an outside force kind of pushing them to become relevant again. Because once, like I said, going back to the whole Diddy thing before, kind of if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And I feel in the rap world, you know. And if you're not really putting out, if you don't have an audience anymore, and your audience is kind of just dormant, and someone else grabs their attention. So the thing with Kendrick is he's able to go away and come back because he has a core audience, you know, like people that actually fuck with him. But his
music is quality to them,
right? And so they can. There's replay value. I can listen to it over and over again, and it's almost like I'm listening to it for the first time, even though it's the 100th time. Roddy Ricch doesn't have that, you know, and his issue is that he's been forgotten about. Like you said, this nigga still alive, you know. So it's like I don't think that he has an audience that fucks with him to that level of like, and the songs that he's dropped has not even been deep enough to where people are gonna constantly be listening to it. It's not classics, you know. They're great songs. There were bangers, but they're not classics. And I think for him, he's almost gonna if he wants to resurface again, he's gonna have to take the approach of a new artist, you know. And he can't come in as like he has to
rebrand himself.
Yeah, I guess rebrand, or he needs like the push of the new artist.
What you're saying, like he needs to come in as a new artist.
I think he needs to come in as a new artist. He needs to come in with the same approach of a new artist.
He needs some big features too. Like I thought this was a good feature for him to be on
Gunna's album.
On Gunna's album.
Yeah.
I think he needs to like start being on more people's albums too. Like, he has to be more relevant and just music in general.
Yeah. So I think that I wouldn't say he needs to rebrand himself, because I think rebranding also changes who you are, like changing the image that you have. I don't think he needs to change the image. I think he needs the pushing of like the same pushing that they do for new artists.
Okay.
So other than that, I think that I don't know. I think his career is kind of dormant.
I'm still TBA, man. To be determined.
Okay.
Or TBD.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm gonna see. Yeah, music wise, we got any posts?
Yeah, we got a post.
Okay.
So I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, and I saw this girl named Amber made a post that jumped out to me and kind of piqued my interest. Right. So she made a post that stated, y'all fucking weird. Who waits until you get into a successful relationship to share screenshots of some shit that happened before I would even fucking dated this man? Right?
So she's in a new relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And people started like spreading screenshots of her and her ex-man.
So apparently, so here's a story, right? She said, so someone from Twitter screenshotted my snaps from like 2 months ago, found out who my current boyfriend is, and decided to send it to him. He breaks up with me while I'm at his house. Wait for the kicker. Mind you, I've been with this man for 2 to 3 months, and we just left each other this morning after a 5-week binge. Man, I'm sicker. Or, man, it gets sicker. So how would you feel if like you're dating somebody, right? And I guess you end up getting some pictures sent to you of her posting pictures with her and her ex, like on another platform.
But like while we're dating.
While you guys are dating.
That's a problem.
Okay.
That's a problem to me.
So now, how would you react, right, if you found out after that the pictures that were sent was from an ex? Like the pictures that were posted were previous pictures. Like they were old pictures. They weren't new pictures.
Oh, like this is like before, like so we weren't together
while this was happening.
Oh, okay.
And someone sent them to you.
That's forgivable. I mean, like yeah, everyone has a past. Like if these pictures were taken while we're together, yeah, then I can't rock with that.
Now, how would you feel if she's posting them on Snap while you guys are together?
Oh, she's posting the picture.
No. Not to say, I'm just giving you 3 different scenarios because we don't know the truth, right?
Okay.
We only know her side of the story.
If she's posting her ex while we're together, no, that's a breakable offense.
A breakable offense.
Yeah.
So I feel, honestly, personally for me, I feel the same way. I feel like, first things first, I see you take another picture with an ex. Like I see a picture.
Pictures are intimate.
Right. I see a picture of you and your ex in any capacity together being sent to me at any point during the time in a relationship. I'm going to be like, what the fuck? Like, it's always going to play in the back of my mind that, like, you're fucking lying to me. You feel me? Like, hey, why would people come out of nowhere? Why would people come out of left field and be like...
Haters exist.
You think so? To that extent?
Depending on who you are, man, people would just want to see your downfall no matter what.
Right. I mean, so for me, it's like, I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't be something I'll be able to shake. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm pretty okay with a lot.
All right. If she's posting the pictures of her ex, that's a problem for me, right? If I'm with my girl and you send me a picture of her ex, but like this is picture from like 8 years ago, like I'm gonna be looking at you like you're kind of weird. Like, why'd you send me that shit? Like, you just trying to break up my like happy.
I mean, but how do you officially know it's from 8 years ago?
I guess I asked, but I thought that's what you said. I thought it was from.
So pretty much what she's saying. So pretty much it comes out right that she says that these are some old ass pictures. So I'll read you the rest of it. She said. He broke up with me for this morning over these old ass pictures. I'm damn near begging for him to explain myself. He starts sending me more pictures that you sick ass niggas screenshotted from my Snap with my ex. Whoever it was, burn in hell, bitch. Right? So now she's saying that these are some old pictures that were sent from a minute ago, I guess prior to their relationship, to her current ex. But I'm saying like you could go to ex. I feel like for me, I will be super skeptical because I'm like, you could tell me that these are old pictures, but there's no way that these are like you would literally have to like, you better not delete them out your phone because like,
nah, if you delete them, then like I gotta go with whatever I think now, right? But if you could look at a picture of your girl and be like, all right, like this, I know this is real. Like I know what you look like at this time period.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, if she has a hairdo that you were with her with, like, okay, what do you mean? These aren't old. These like
I remember that hairstyle. Right? Yeah, that's a valid point too.
Yeah, like. I know what like you probably know what your girl looked like 8 years ago. You feel me? It's like, all right, like I know if you send me that picture, even me, like I look different every it'd be pretty easy to figure out what time period you're with me because it's like I look different like yearly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you send a picture of me, you're gonna know like, all right, this was 2018.
This guy definitely does change his image up like every fucking year.
Yeah, that's how it'd be easy to pinpoint me.
All right. I mean, so. She said something that kind of made me skeptical, right? She was like, motherfuckers are haters. This pussy got mileage.
That's a weird statement.
Why would you, like, you're sitting here trying to defend yourself,
like,
right?
That's not going to help me get back with you.
Like,
this pussy got mileage?
This pussy has mileage, baby, or something like that, she says. Yes. And so, and
why
people
would you
like.
make us look stupid?
Huh?
Like, why would you make us look stupid?
So then somebody said, this is why your past matters. And she says, shut up, bitch. No, it doesn't.
People's past
right?
matters.
So I'm like, if you're trying to tell me that, like, first things first, it comes out like I'm already on edge because I don't know who the fuck this nigga is. And then you go online and then say this pussy got mileage. And now to make us fucking look dumb, I'm like, I would be like, bitch, like, if I wasn't breaking up with you for that shit, then,
I am now.
Yeah, this shit fucking cooks it. So then apparently she dives into the story a little bit deeper, right? She then tells a story about I guess she ends up getting messages pretty much from a girl saying that he was in a relationship with her during the entire time, right?
Oh, the guy was cheating too.
Yeah, the guy was cheating and he was in a relationship with her during the entire time. So the girl is like messaging this girl, pretty much just responding back to her. So she was like, mind you, if y'all have been actively following me, he got this bitch trying to eat me out so far. So his girlfriend, in quotations, to be at his house asking me if I wanted to be hers. I know it's just him and a Tyler Perry child. So then she starts speculating that it may not be actually another girl. She starts speculating that it's actually like this nigga commenting or replying back to her, acting like a girl, like to this chick. Which I'm like, what? Why would you even do some shit like that? Like,
yeah, wait, I mean, that's not like a winning for him. Like, I don't get what he would gain out of that.
I guess he was just trying to get her to like. It seems as though he was just trying to get her to like admit the fact that she was wrong, or that she was fucking cheating on. I don't know. The whole shit just fucking seems like weird as fuck, right? But then I guess she ends up going to the house, right? And the nigga does have a bitch at the house, and he does have a bitch in the crib, and the bitch like goes to the bitch. She ends up opening the door. I guess she ended up getting like pushed out of the house by the girl. They get into some sort of altercation, and now she's upset because she's finding out that her boyfriend has been cheating on her during this entire time. So my question to you is like, who would you say is more at fault during this whole thing?
Hard to say, man, because so far it seems like we only have proof of him cheating,
Right?
like physical proof, like you saw the new chick,
Like actual proof.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like if you can't date the picture, I don't know if I could believe it.
Right.
Like if I know you, this is what you look like this while you're with me, I know you cheated. I know you cheated. And here's my thing, right? If you hang out with your ex, that's cheating to me. Like y'all could have done nothing. Y'all could have done nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, if you hang out with your ex and I don't know about it, you cheated. It doesn't matter. My imagination will run wild forever.
Bro.
There's nothing you can tell me.
But that's what I feel about the picture. Like it's like I said, unless it's a hairstyle, like what if she has like one consistent hairstyle?
No woman does.
I mean,
is she black?
Black girl, yeah.
Yeah, that's cap. Maybe a white chick. They might just do it. Do it hair
up.
Down forever. Black, that's like every 6 months is with something new. I'm just saying, yeah.
That is a fact,
right?
So I mean, for her to send it, for the picture to get sent, I feel like my mind would just be racing.
Bro, I'd be looking at all type of shit. Like, what's the weather like? Like, was this the fall, winter? Like, what season did we just get out of? Like,
right.
I'd be examining that picture I'd see whatever shoes she got on, whatever shoes he got on. Like, when did these drop?
I know that fucking shirt you just wore that shit 2 weeks ago. Like,
exactly. No way, this shirt just dropped 6 months ago.
Right.
I know you're cheating now.
Right. So she ended up. So here's a story about the girlfriend. She said, I went over to his crib. The girlfriend answered the door, like, oh, my man doesn't want to see you. Then I just sat there praying. She then calls the police. I leave. He texts me saying, where you at? I'm coming to get you. I walk back over and the nignog opened the front door for me.
The what?
The nignog. The nigga.
I don't know. This guy seems like he might be the problem, bro. Like, so he called the cops and then he told her to come back.
So pretty much following this thing sequentially.
So after the girl that was in the house left, he told this one to come back.
No, so pretty much. So I'm gonna follow the story sequentially, right? She's happy in a relationship. Her ex starts spazzing on her, saying like, "Yo, people are sending me pictures of you and like some other nigga." She's trying to defend herself. The nigga isn't listening. She's upset. She's like heartbroken about this shit, right? She fucking ends up going over to the nigga's house, right? To apologize. I guess he lives like 5 houses down from her. Right. She gets to the person's house. She finds out that the nigga has a girlfriend. Her and the girlfriend get in an altercation. The girlfriend ends up pushing her out, and then calling the police. And so she ends up leaving. The nigga then chases or texts her like, so like, what are you doing? Like, come back. And comes back and brings her back to the house. And then the text messages start flowing thereafter, pretty much about like the conversation between them two. So I'm not gonna lie, when I did read it, I'm like, what a fucking wild turn of events, because it's like, first things first, like, I'm upset because you're breaking up with me, but then I found out you're cheating on me as well, and then now you got me in a situation where, like, you told me you didn't want me, now you want me, and then, but now you got a whole nother bitch.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the guy's the problem here, man. If I was the girl, I'd just leave the situation. Yo, the moment you go over your man's house and he has another chick there, like, that should be a alarm to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Just leave. Yo, just before shit gets worse. Before you fight this woman, someone gets hurt, someone gets arrested, just leave. He already broke up with you. You know, fuck it. Like, just charge it to the game, man. Go back to the ex you're in the picture with.
Go back to that nigga?
Yeah.
And I don't know, bro. I feel like, I mean, maybe in turn for him, he was just like, in playing devil's advocate, right? Maybe he went over, he found the pictures, he decided to get back, he decided it was like, all right, she on some sneaky shit, like, I'm gonna just link a bitch that, like,
yeah,
that I want to fuck.
She's your girlfriend? That's...
Girls do messy shit. They don't
do
messy shit.
They do messy shit.
They don't do messy shit?
They do.
Okay, so.
But yeah, bro, but here's my thing, right, man? I'm like, whatever the path of least resistance is, like, that's the path I try to take.
Right.
So, yo, if you go over there, if I were to go over a girl's house and some guy picks up, opens the door and is like, I'm her boyfriend, I'm like, you know what?
No,
I'm
all right, whatever. I'm
not fighting you over this shit.
But then, once again, we just think differently, because, like, if my girlfriend's cheating on me, I'm just like, all right, like, I'm done, essentially. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
Like, I'd be done right there, right? But if anyway, in any situation, if I go over your house and there's just a guy there, like, I'm done.
Right.
Like, you don't even gotta explain it to me.
Right. I mean, for me, I think that, I don't know. I think she should leave. I think that this is kind of just a wild turn of events for her, that where her life gets fucking turned upside down. You're happily in a relationship, and then, like, you find out all of this stuff after. I think it's just time for her to start over. She said her pussy got mileage. I guess just go
add some more miles.
Go add some more miles to the shit. That was pretty much it. That was the post.
Yeah, add some more miles. Yo, leave that situation. Yeah, so in general, man, that's what people need to start doing, bro. If you're in a toxic relationship, just fucking leave before it gets worse. Like why go to prison for someone, man? Like, why just put yourself through it? But I mean, this is something that comes with age and wisdom. Right. You know what I mean? We've all been through toxic relationships, and like, we've just dealt with this shit for what reason?
Longer than we were supposed to.
For what reason?
Right.
Let's just educate the youth on it. That's it. That's all I can do at this point.
Educate the youth, and hopefully they do better, and also learn ourselves as well. You know.
Exactly. I think we'll leave it on that.
Okay.
All right, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Drop a like, drop a comment, make sure I sub, and tune in. We'll see you guys next episode.
Hold on. I want to give a shout out to fucking Cat Williams, right?
Okay.
This motherfucker said, 2024, these big dick deviants will be exposed.
He said big dick deviants?
He said big dick deviants, bro.
I don't remember him saying it like that.
Rewatch it.
I don't know if you added that in. You sprinkle that part in.
Rewatch it, bro.
I will say this. He did say that all lies were going to come to the light in 2024. I heard that part. I don't know about the big dick part.
The big dick deviants?
Yeah, okay.
I'll play it for you after. I got you.
Please don't. Please don't.
I don't know what he knew. But he knew some shit. We got fucking Drake.
2024 has been a crazy year so far.
We got Drake on the rocks. We got Diddy getting exposed. Like, who the fuck else is next? I mean, they say Jay-Z, so
someone's next.
Yeah.
Every month something's happened, So I don't know. Let's
we'll
see what's up for June.
Right.
Word. But we'll leave it on that.